First, let's check in with National Trial Attorney Mike Jaafar watching along. The state wants 18 months. That's the maximum. The defense wants probation. What should the judge do? And if this wasn't a high-profile case, if the country wasn't watching, what do you think would happen?
I'm glad you asked that question in that way. Let me answer it. So what viewers need to know is these victim impact statements. Here's what the relevance of these are. When you have these embezzlement cases, these white-collar cases where, let's say, a bank loses $1 million to some sort of a thief, and there's a sentencing, right? There's usually no victims appearing there, right? The victim is a multinational bank with hundreds of billions of dollars in assets, and nobody shows up to these hearings. And so the defense attorney jumps up and says, where are the victims, right? There's no victim here, right? And so those are cases that are uneventful. Nobody sees them. And so judges there have leeway, and they take their leeway to not sentence a lot. Here in this case, it's different. It's a high impact case. Everybody's watching it. The judge is going to have to sentence her to something. I'll give you an example. I did not know that the victim, Helena Hutchinson, had a son. I did not know that. I just made the assumption that she didn't because she looked so young, and nobody said to me, hey, she has a son. But because she has a son, and because everybody's crying in the courtroom and the judge has leeway, the judge is not going to be able to let her off with probation. So to answer your question, Ted, if this was not a high-profile case and there were no victims in the courtroom crying, and the victim had a son that's going to grow up without a child, probation. Even if this was not a high-profile case, when you're a judge and you find out that somebody lost their mother and the max you can sentence is 18 months, you're going to usually go towards the max because of the fact that the victim impact statements actually make a difference in these types of cases where somebody loses their life. So I think the judge here is going to, I initially said 9 months. I think she's going to go 9 months, maybe a little bit more. She's not going to walk out with just probation. I promise you that.
Okay, we'll see. We'll get a break.